Hello, you're watching Vnews Bulletin. I'm Nhung from Hanoi. Now let's come to our top stories as usual.
Border Guard soldiers ensuring peace in southeastern seas. And later on, increasing popularity of vegetarianism among Vietnamese.
Let's begin the bulletin with the most prominent events of the week from March 7 to March 13.
Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng on March 10th chaired a meeting of key national leaders to discuss domestic and international situations in the first 2 months of this year and sketch out major tasks in the time to come. The leaders held that the country is likely to face many challenges and difficulties in the time to come, especially those posed by the pandemic and unpredictable changes in the global economic and political situation. Party General Secretary Trọng underlined that it is necessary to keep a close watch on the situation and make accurate forecasts, so as to work out proper policies to effectively deal with the rising issues. He said it is crucial to effectively implement all solutions, including in the socio-economic recovery and development program, while focusing efforts on removing bottlenecks in institution and policy. The 13th National Women's Congress took place at the National Convention Center in Hanoi on March 10th, with the participation of 959 official delegates representing women of all classes across the country. The Congress is an important political event and a great festival for Vietnamese women nationwide. Addressing the event, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính urged the Vietnam Women's Union to firmly grasp and concretize views, guidelines and policies of the party, continue to consolidate its organizational structure and renovate the operation method to become a professional and effective organization for women's comprehensive development and the country's strength and prosperity. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính attended the 5th Vietnam-US Business Summit in Hanoi on March 8th, during which he called on businesses of both nations to further strengthen their partnerships to contribute to the promotion of bilateral ties. Participants at the event discussed measures to promote bilateral economic ties and sketch out new orientations for post-pandemic economic recovery. U.S. firms showed interest to invest in Vietnam's economic restructuring, programs suitable to the global trend of green and circular and digital economic development. The U.S. is currently the largest export market of Vietnam, while Vietnam is the 9th largest trade partner of the U.S. Two repatriation flights, arranged and fully funded by the government, have been conducted so far, bringing home nearly 590 Vietnamese citizens living in war-ravaged areas in Ukraine. The first flight, operated by the national flag carrier Vietnam Airlines, arrived at Hanoi's Nội Bài International Airport on March 8th. It carried 287 Vietnamese. Meanwhile, a Bamboo Airways flight carrying 300 Vietnamese people evacuated from war zones in Ukraine to Poland arrived at Nội Bài International Airport on March 10th. Giving the top priority to citizen protection and the maximum safety of lives, property, and legal and legitimate interests of Vietnamese citizens and legal entities is a consistent policy of the party and state. This has been vividly illustrated in the repatriation of citizens from war zones in Ukraine.
Foreign trade by agricultural, forestry, and aquatic products reached $14.2 billion in the first 2 months of 2022, a year-on-year increase of 15.8%, according to the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. Revenue of these exports was estimated at $8 billion, up 20.9% year-on-year, while imports exceeded $6.2 billion, up 10%. So far this year, Vietnam has enjoyed $1.8 billion in trade surplus in agriculture, forestry, and fishery, or nearly 87% higher than last year's figure. Exports posting high growth included coffee, rice, pepper, trout, shrimp, and wood and timber products. The U.S. remained Vietnam's biggest buyer, purchasing over $2.3 billion worth of the products, or 28% of the total. Some 70% of exports to the U.S. were wood and timber products. It was followed by China and Japan. The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development is focusing efforts on gaining broader access for Vietnamese exports to major markets such as Peru, Australia, Brazil, China, and the U.S. The Ministry of Industry and Trade has asked provinces and centrally run cities to review wind, solar, and hydropower projects included in the National Planning Scheme for Electricity Development for 2011-2020, with a vision towards 2030.
For the operational projects, the provincial and municipal people's committees should evaluate their operations and take note of difficulties facing them, if any. For those that have yet to be put into operation, the provincial and municipal people's committees need to provide updates on the project progress, along with obstacles regarding land, technical infrastructure, and finance, and propose solutions to them. Statistics by the Ministry of Industry and Trade showed that between March 2016 and the end of 2020, 384 projects had been added to the planning scheme, including 190 wind power projects with total capacity of over 1,900 MW and 175 solar power projects with 15,400 MW. Between 2011 and October 31, 2021, 84 wind power projects were put into commercial operation with a total capital of 3,980 MW.
The tourism sector should pay special heed to improving the quality of tourism products, infrastructure, facilities, and human resources, utilities provided for foreign tourists in order to increase its competitiveness and attract more foreign visitors in the post-COVID-19 pandemic, according to the Vietnam National Administration of Tourism.
The tourism sector has set a target of serving 65 million visitors, including 5 million foreigners, and earning nearly $19.3 billion in 2022. To open up tourism activities in a safe and effective manner in accordance with the government's directions, the sector needs to promote advertising and promotion programs via digital platforms and e-marketing in order to help foreigners know more about Vietnam's tourism reopening policy. Attention should be paid to ensuring safety and security and regulations on environmental protection and pandemic prevention in tourism activities. The tourism industry should target tourism markets where regulations on quarantine after foreign trips are not too strict and those that have moved to reopen their doors to foreign tourists. Besides, it is also necessary to create favorable conditions for Vietnamese people to travel abroad. Regarding the visa issue, the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism and relevant ministries and sectors are proposing the government to allow the application of visa policies for tourists like the time prior to the COVID-19 outbreak, including issuance of e-visas and unilateral and bilateral visa exemptions.
In addition to safeguarding Vietnam's national sovereignty at sea, soldiers at the Con Đảo border guard station off the coast of the southern province of Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu have also worked with local authorities and residents in socio-economic development and consolidating the old people defense posture in the country's southeastern seas. The Con Đảo border guard station is assigned to protect and manage the border sea area of Con Đảo, which spans 12 nautical miles and 16 islands. As an area holding a strategic position in the southeastern seas, officials and soldiers at the station hold intensive training and promote responsibility and solidarity so as to protect the national sacred seas and islands.
We conduct regular inspections to detect crime, especially drug dealers and trade fraud, while working to prevent and respond to natural disasters and fires. We also coordinate closely with local authorities to promote party guidelines and state regulations and help people gain a better understanding of the functions and responsibilities of border guard soldiers.
The border soldiers detected 35 violations last year and meted out administrative punishment totaling more than 270 million Vietnam dong. They identified 6 people carrying 343,000 liters of diesel oil, and nearly 1,800 packets of cigarettes without documentation and invoices on origin, as well as 2 foreign ships illegally anchored in Vietnamese seas. They also did a good job in natural disaster prevention and response.
Fishermen and soldiers working closely with each other. We strictly follow border soldier programs.
Officers and soldiers in the Con Đảo border guard station also devoted themselves to helping the locality fight COVID-19.
I asked the soldiers to do their best and overcome the challenges and to complete all tasks assigned.
Over the years, officers and soldiers at the Con Đảo border guard station have stood with local people, especially policy beneficiary families, those in difficult circumstances and disadvantaged students. Proud of the glorious tradition of border guard soldiers, they work hard to protect Vietnam's national sovereignty overseas and ensure security in the area. The travel magazine has listed Hạ Long Bay in the northern coastal province of Quảng Ninh and Củ Chi Tunnel in Ho Chi Minh City among the 10 must-visit epic and adventurous places in Southeast Asia. Hạ Long Bay, which is situated in northeast Vietnam, is regarded as one of the world's geographical beauties due to its green seas scattered with hundreds of limestone islets, each capped with its distinct tropical jungle, the magazine said. Tourists may enjoy the destination by diving and snorkeling, renting a canoe, or simply relaxing on the upper deck of their boat tour with a beverage in hand, it added. Meanwhile, the Củ Chi cave system, situated 60 km beyond Ho Chi Minh City, is a vast network of subterranean tunnels that stretches all distance towards the Cambodian frontier. The tunnel served as a way of communication among settlements. Furthermore, the tunnels were easily reachable from Ho Chi Minh City with a 1.5-hour trip. According to the traveler, Southeast Asia boasts a rich tapestry of distinct cultures and faiths, and it is considered a favorite part of the globe because of its beautiful beaches, delectable cuisine, and low rates of tourism. Vegetarianism is becoming popular among many Vietnamese people. While some make the choice for health reasons, others are trying to support the planet. Big switched to being a full-time vegetarian 8 years ago. She tried vegetarian dishes 20 years ago, but vegetarian food is now popular in her family.
Veggie dishes are really tasty. I find it good for my health and even for people undergoing medical treatment.
My mother sometimes prepares veggie dishes for the whole family. There are a wide range of dishes, and all are mouth-watering.
Ingredients for veggie dishes are meticulously chosen. They must be fresh and highly nutritious and have clear origin. As a vegetarian, Nguyễn Thị Lan Anh prepares excellent vegetarian feast. Her kitchen has become a trusted place for friends and relatives looking to eat vegetarian.
Many young people order my vegetarian dishes on the first day of the Lunar New Month or the full moon. Friends and relatives normally book the full vegetarian feast. I receive 5 to 6 orders every month.
Statistics show that some 10% of people in Europe and North America are vegetarian or vegan. Becoming a vegetarian or vegan is on the rise among people, including those in Vietnam. Along with health and religious reasons, veganism and vegetarianism also express their responsibility for the environment.
I like steamed dishes. I often search for salad recipes and spring rolls because they are good for my health.
There is a kaleidoscope of vegan and vegetarian dishes, from desserts, pho, noodles to fried dishes. They're prepared to suit the taste of people in different regions. And that is all for this hour. Thank you for being there with us and see you next time.